Welcome back to Absolutely Marvel and DC. My name is Benny, that is Dan, and we're a channel that gets together and chats about superhero TV shows, movies, rumors, discussions, and analytical reviews, but we also watch a lot of other stuff here. And today we're going to be talking about Squid Game, and I don't know why, but I started the Pink Soldier song in my head right now, so right now I just got ooh, 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 ooh. Just I don't know why I hit play on that. I don't know,
Which, for the record, I don't know how you can make a song out of like 4 notes and have it be one of like the most thrilling parts of the show.
But if you want to join the Absolute Army, please hit subscribe, turn on that bell, turn on your notifications. We do a podcast format about movies and TV shows on a regular basis and would love for you to join our opinions. All right, so Squid Game, I watched it and I told the team I need one person to watch it so that we can have a quick discussion about this because it's a fascinating situation.
Yeah.
Because watching this, I'm going to say it up front, watching this entire show, it's a death game all about poverty in Korea. And I believe it's Korea. Yeah, because they have North Korea and South Korea. Yeah. Which was fascinating, but I didn't find it to be that different from many other death games. And I've looked into a lot of theories as to why this did so much better than normal death games. It's also dubbed and subtitled. It's not like they spoke English. It's an international sensation and is now going to be one of the biggest things ever on Netflix, apparently. What do you think about it, Dan?
So,
well, hold on. I realized I said all that and then go, and my issue is I don't know why it's such a big deal. Anyway, Dan, go.
So the show itself, I really enjoyed it. I thought the show was really fun. I think there was a lot of slower parts that built up a lot of tension. I will say before I actually continue, I did watch the dubbed version. So I am aware that there were some translation, some Google Translate situations basically, as well as I read into it that some of the actors weren't fully, I guess not fully aware of what like the situation or the feelings behind some of the lines were. Kind of made sense once you watched it. Still, the dub was very good.
I watched the dub with the subtitles though, and
did
a lot
you
of people
watch it with the?
There's two of them which people aren't aware of. There's the actual subtitles that they did in the studio, and then there's the automatic subtitles, which is a direct translation, and that's the Google Translate subtitles.
I think that's the one that I had going on mine. So.
Yeah, the other one's yellow, so you can tell which one's which.
Then I definitely did the closed captioning one.
Okay.
Overall, yes, I liked it. I didn't like how slow the first 2 episodes were. I didn't like that there was one girl that just kept getting on my nerves. If you've seen the show, I can almost guarantee.
Is it old woman?
The old woman. She got on my nerves so much.
Or they call her grandma and she got offended. It was one of those two.
Old lady or whatever. Yeah.
It was her and the gangster that whenever they were getting things going, I'm like, oh my God, just stop.
Yes. It was just like, okay, I didn't want anyone to die, but now, no.
You're not wrong. Even I was built up to like, okay, can they die soon? Crap, they're main characters.
There were definitely, there were parts like that as well where you go, I know they got to be around for long. Wait a second, they're not going to be a winner. They better not be a winner. I really liked the show, and I think this might be one of the reasons why it was so popular. Is it gave such. I feel like everyone could kind of connect to someone on the show, either based on maybe not to the exact extreme, but their life situation, what made them go to the games, that kind of stuff, but also their motivations and how they proceeded through things. Because one of the things in it that definitely kind of kept me a little more hooked, or more subtly hooked, was I want to say Song-woo. Like, his character kept me hooked because of the fact that there was this constant, okay, he clearly will mess with anyone to get what he wants, and he is the perfect example of someone that doesn't want to help other people and risk that they will become competition for him, even though he wants to help them. or at least made it
the
seem
turn with him
like
and I think it was Ali or Ali.
Ali, yes.
Ali, when he tricked him with the marbles, was so heartbreaking. Because that's when you saw him finally just admit he has to kill everyone.
That yes,
from
that was the
point
moment.
on, he was against everyone, pushing them through the plates.
But not even just that. That was the point where you could tell, even when he was manipulating, he was trying to save face. Because he didn't do it in the way that like some of the other characters did, where they just straight out tricked him. They did that. No, he convinced him that he was on his side.
Yeah.
Just like all the other ones, he convinced them that he was on their side and that this was going to work for all of them, when in actuality, he was very willing to shove anyone under the bus, which shown for the reason he got there, basically pushing his mother under the bus.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like the character development in characters like him, the Ali, the one where you go, oh my gosh, like this person truly is just an innocent soul that is trying to help his family, but is very ready to trust people. Trust that Song-woo is trying to make it so that both of them can come out. And I feel like everyone can either relate or know someone that relates to those different character types. And I just feel like, if anything, this show was a over dramatized version of just straight up life. The fact that going through life, there are people that will take advantage of other people to just get themselves farther. They don't care what happens to you as long as they make it out on the end. There are others that go, okay, we're all here for the same thing. We're trying to make money, and I want to help other people. I'm going to catch this guy so that he doesn't get killed, even though I don't know who he is. Yeah. Like, I feel like that... I feel like that's a big reason why this was such a big hit, was because all the characters were very relatable, or at least had some relatable aspect to them, but it did still have the over dramatized, this is a killing game. Like, people are just straight up dying in very brutal ways, very openly in front of them. And everyone's just kind of reaches the point where they're like, well, this is just what happens. And it's almost like a note on, I'm going to go very philosophical here. It's almost a note on society, how we see things that are so horrific, but then as you see it more frequently, it just becomes oh, well, they shot more people. Like it reached a point that people would watch them get shot right in front of them.
They were in shock at the doll game at the beginning. And by the time we get to like the third game, or when they were doing the Honeycomb, like they were just shooting. Oh, okay, well that's that.
It was just like a flinch, and like you're literally sitting there next to this dead body.
Yeah,
and like it was just I really enjoyed it. I could go so much into the philosophy, but I want to let you talk some, because I've kind of just gone on a ramble here.
You always go on rambles.
I know.
But this one was pseudo okay. Anyway, part of what I think makes this game succeed, and one of the things I saw about the show succeed, because I watch a lot of these death game style stuff. So like another popular one that's on Netflix is called Alice in Borderland. And it's almost like a horror element. They go into a room, and like the room will burn people alive, and there's lasers that'll cut people, and you see all that. And what I think makes this game so much more relatable, to kind of go with what you were saying, is its basic games. No one had to explain the rules. The characters didn't have to figure it out.
Excluding Squid Game.
Well, yeah, I still don't know what the hell how Squid Game is.
I know, right?
But by that episode, you're so in, you don't care what Squid Game is. But like red light, green light. As soon as they said we're playing red light, green light, like, oh, I know what's up. And they didn't go gruesome with it. They didn't go like Saw levels, or like I've seen in other death games. They just shot them, and they didn't keep to it. They didn't pan on it. They were just like, it's over. That person's dead. And then when we get to the tug of war, they fall in the pit. They're dead. We don't go to it. We don't stay on the dead bodies. We don't do any of that. You know how to play tug of war. That's that. Same thing with the Honeycomb. They're so basic. I didn't know the Honeycomb game, but I got it as soon as they like, okay, it's the Honeycomb game. You got to cut out the shape. Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And then marbles, I learned like 3 different ways to play marbles.
Right?
It's so relatable, such an easy entry point for this style of thing. And like you said, they did such a great job of making a philosophy out of it, showing that you can hit rock bottom, and when you're at rock bottom, everything becomes acceptable. Because all the characters immediately went to the Squid Game, went to the red light, green light, and left. We vote out. We are out of the Squid Game. We're not doing this anymore. But once they went back to their real lives, which is why those first 2 and 3 episodes were so important, and only in the long scheme of things, I agree. It starts out slow, but you only really see how they feel towards the end of the whole series. Because what it does is it makes you have the immediate reaction of, people are dying. We need to stop this. Yeah. Which is everyone's gut reaction to anything that happens in the world. People are dying. We need to stop this. But then they go back to their lives, and you see the position they're in, and they begin to reconsider it. Yeah, people are dying, but $45 billion is, or whatever the currency is that they were doing in that's a lot of money. Like, and if everyone volunteered to be here, is it really murder? Is it really going against my morals if we've all volunteered?
I mean, it's not mass genocide if it's random. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, hey, what's up, Thanos? But I think that's why it works so well for the show. The games are easy to understand. Everyone can understand being willing to go to that extreme. And the players are all there willingly. So that's a whole nother level. All the other death games I've ever seen, they're forced into it.
Yes, but I think there's another branch there, and that's the fact that when you feel so powerful, you do get entertainment from watching people basically scramble and fight over $1 because of the VIPs.
Oh, you're looking at the other side, the VIPs.
That's what I'm saying is like...
Their statement was that they were just bored. That was the whole reason they did it.
The whole point was they were bored, they had too much money, and basically this was them going, hey, fight over this $100 bill.
Yeah.
And so it really does show you that full spectrum, because you've got the people who are fighting for the dollar, the people who work there, the ones that are basically just this is my life, I am a drone.
I want to know more about the drones. Like, what are they getting out of this? What did they agree to?
I don't know.
Because they seem as throwaway as the players.
See, exactly. Like, at first, there were so many different turns with the drones. I'm gonna tangent
the PlayStation
into that.
Buttons.
Yeah, the PlayStation buttons. Like, at first, because the first one that they unmask is a kid.
Yeah.
And I remember because one of them goes, "You're just a kid."
Yeah.
And
the guy that shot himself because he didn't want to shoot the kid.
Exactly.
But the front man comes in and it shows you how expendable every one of them are.
Exactly. But so my first thought when that happened was, wait a second, are all of them children? Because these are kids' games. Is this like one of those, oh, the kids have risen up and are forcing the adults to do what they were forced to do? Like something along the lines of that. But then later on, you see some of the other ones and they're older.
The organ guys that are trying to cut the organs out.
Yeah,
and things like
we
that.
got like all of that. And so there's just so much that I kept thinking I had an idea of who they were, what they were doing and stuff like that. But I have no idea.
Whatever season 2 is going to be about, I hope it explores them. Because even the front man, we discovered that he's the cop's brother.
Who was one of the winners of a previous year, but not the first year. And that was the crucial part. And it just ended there. Like that, the plot with the front man and him just ended right there. And I was wondering what was going to come out of that. Where were we going to go with that? The front man did confront the main character later in the show. But I don't know. It was so fascinating and so interesting to see the worldwide phenomenon that it has become Squid Game from a genre that I enjoy. But I do think the big twist was the simpler games, the people volunteering and showing us their lives back at home. Because a lot of times when I watch things like Alice in Borderland or I watch like Battle Royales, they're bloody, they're gory, it's like Saw-type levels, they're forced into it. Yeah. And when we do explore their history, it's later in the show. Well, this show set that up initially. Like right off the bat, this is what you're dealing with. And I also like that they got rid of any supernatural or any of that stuff. It was just... Oh, yeah. It was just straight up, these are people. This is what people will do.
Because like when they first did the red light, green light, and they had the giant robot, I'm like, oh, we got aliens? Is it aliens doing this?
Right.
No, they got bored and made a giant girl who does red light, green light.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a giant girl if you want some sensor eyes, apparently. There was just so much to this show. Even here sitting, I'm wondering if the employees were old winners.
Yeah.
Like, I'm wondering if they were old winners. That's why they knew that not to do certain things because they knew they would get shot. They were mindless and completely, basically, totally fine with everything because they saw it firsthand themselves.
There was too many drones because I think they only mentioned like 50 years because the old man, number one, he's the guy that was setting it up.
But see, that's the thing is they did mention that there were multiple years, but in the filing cabinet room, there were tons and tons of things going on there. But there was never anything that clarified there had to only be one winner. Because Squid Game is a team sport. Only 2 people made it to the last game because it was the 7th game.
So you're wondering if everyone could have won this possibly if they had just not killed each other.
Because honestly, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting
him and we're going to win the whole thing together?
Something like that, or...
I thought they were going to pull a Hunger Games. Like, we're not going to end this unless you let us both win. I'm like, oh,
right,
great.
Something along the lines of that. But there were also like a lot of other... There was just so much to it, but multiple people could win because the big thing that they said was at the end, the winners split the prize. So
that's true. I didn't even really think about that. Yeah, you're right.
And so I'm wondering if those are the people that went back because maybe they were broken. Maybe they went back to real life like Gyun did, and was just kind of like, I can't spend this money. I know that this is blood money, basically. I can't use it. I'm not going to do anything like that. And I'm wondering if those are the people that came back and then or maybe some of them came back and were like, hey, we ran out of our money that we won. And that's why they know that they can harvest organs. Like there's so many other aspects to it, but I have a feeling that that's what those people are there for and why they all wear masks as well. Because like that could lead into the fact that no one knew that his brother was there.
Yeah.
But there's just so much to it.
The other thing I wanted to bring up before we kind of start winding up our thoughts on this is number one. The old man reveal at the ending that he had orchestrated everything.
Yes.
I actually didn't see that coming. I just thought it was an old man with dementia. Mm-hmm. And then like the marble thing was so heartbreaking. Because I remember you were going off other theories, and I was like, I don't want to say anything because I've already finished the show. It's funny because I was just watching a video right before this about Squid Game and things you didn't notice. And the old man, he was always able to get away from the situations. So the red light, green light, we have no idea if the thing was actually going to shoot him because he played it perfectly. The tug of war, he didn't have locks on his shackles.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they zoomed in. He didn't have locks, so if they went down, he could have easily just broke free.
Yeah.
During the nighttime brawl, he was nowhere to be found and then magically was on top of the beds yelling.
Interesting.
Like, he was always able to get out of a situation.
Yeah.
And even with the marbles, I mean, you thought he got shot because they walked away.
The marbles I had a feeling something was off because it was like the one time that they full on showed nothing during the shot. Like they didn't even, I don't even think they even showed.
They did the same thing with Ali, but that was to show you his reaction to Ali dying.
But like there was something about that moment.
They also didn't show the girl's friend when she got shot.
No, they showed the blood splat on her face. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Which I consider proof, brain matter. You know, it's a whole thing. But yeah, there was something at that moment though that I did have a little bit of like wait a second, because it was also why is this town exactly like he knew? Like I know that
I was
he was
wondering
supposed
if that
to
was
have
his
dementia. But
yeah, I was wondering if it was his dementia or if it really was built like
because let's be honest, if you're the one that's sponsoring the games, and you have to make a town, what better place than to use as your own neighborhood?
Yeah. I liked that reveal.
But go in more. Are there other things that I didn't notice besides?
It was the marbles. You didn't see him die. What was the game after that? No, because at the marbles he was dead. Yeah, that was so he wasn't there for the plate jumping.
What was he? Oh, and he got just one of the easy shapes.
Yeah, he got an easy shape too.
Okay.
Yeah, because he knew what shapes to go for. Plus, I mean, you got to think if he broke his, you wouldn't have even known it. They're not going to shoot him.
Exactly. Like, that's interesting. It's interesting.
But yeah, no, I was looking at freeze frames. He didn't have locks on his shackles. And so, like, that led to everyone to be like, okay, where else could he have just not been affected?
But the thing is, I actually kind of liked the idea that he could lose some of the games, that he could have been killed in the middle of the night, things like that, because of the fact that that's what adds more realism to his character, and like the fact that his character would want to be a part of the games, but also because while yes, he's not shackled, if they all fell and he stayed up there, everyone sees it. Like there are some like holes in those theories. I think it's really cool because I mean, for all we know, maybe that's why he could stand guard the whole night. Was because he knew that the security guards were going to watch him. Yeah, like maybe. But overall, I really liked the twist.
I didn't see the twist coming. I didn't see it at all.
Yes, I definitely did not see that coming at all, that he was like the main one. I will say the theory that I saw on TikTok before going into this of that old man was Gi-Yoon's father.
I've seen that one making the rounds. That's why he wanted to be so close to him. And I mean, it could still be viable.
Well, not even that he wanted to be so close to him. Actually, I liked the idea that neither of them knew. But it was just a fact of every single time they would talk about their life as well as what the old man did with his son, it was always almost identical. Like he would say, oh, you did this. And he goes, oh, man, you must have gotten a lot of spankings for that. How did you know? Well, I did that to my son.
Right.
Oh, well, like I would come home and see my kids playing games, so I would stand back and watch. Like there was some stuff to that I kind of liked the idea that they were related and neither of them knew. That the old man had forgotten because of dementia and Gi-Yoon just simply didn't know. But
right.
Overall, the whole show...
Incredible. It's an incredible watch.
Fantastic.
I do recommend it to everyone, and I hope it opens up the doors to more. Because one thing because I watch a lot of independent movies, Korean movies, Chinese movies, subtitle movies, international movies, stuff like that. And that's simply because the storytelling is a lot different. And I'm really hoping that this opens the door for more stuff like that to come out. Like a lot of people like to say, oh, watch K-dramas. Now, I don't watch K-dramas, but I know why K-drama is a genre. Because they tell the story differently than something over here.
Because, I mean, like you said, whenever we get a game like this, or a show or piece of entertainment like this, ours is always overly gruesome. It's Saw. It's, hey, you're in this, but if you don't get out, you're getting turned into ground beef. I'm a villain.
It's not tug of war, and we're just going to let you fall to your death.
Exactly. It's not red light, green light, where if you move during the red light, you get sniped. Like...
That robot is so good too, by the way. Just like pop, 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 pop.
Well, the robot wasn't shooting.
No, but the robots. I'm talking the robot as a whole. The AI.
Yes. Yeah. The whole thing with the yes.
Yeah. The robot was sensing for the guns to take the shots in the top.
Yeah. Overall, just so good.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. We are Absolutely Marvel and DC, and we do sometimes talk about other stuff. Join the Absolute Army by clicking notifications, hitting subscribe, and let us know other shows you want me and Dan to watch. Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we'll do a review on that one, kind of a thing. But thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time right here.